Hello everyone. In today's video, I want to talk about the biggest plot holes in Motherland Fort Salem, since there's still hopes for the show to be picked back up. Before I go on with that, in my All for the Love of Rayla video I uploaded on Valentine's Day, I explained that I wrote to the letter to the Hague, explaining how I came across the show and became familiar with the main couple on it. With that, it was all part of a story on before, during, and after the events of the show. I've even told them that Rael and Scylla were like the Ruby and Sapphire of the live-action TV universe, something I keep establishing over and over again. 5 days after I sent it, the Hague emailed me their thanks for sending the letter. They also said they were happy that I was able to share my story because it mattered. It was a good thing, too, because there was more to the story than Rael and Scylla. When the second season came out, I didn't want to watch the new episodes without my dad until about halfway into the season. However, my dad and I watched the season 2 episodes on demand on our TV provider. When I found out about the third season of Motherland Fort Salem, I read a comment saying that it was going to be the last season on the show, which I got nervous about. However, in the 9th episode of the second season, I heard Willis say say to Rael, our ancient enemy can finally be defeated and the Great War can be won. It had me thinking that the third season will be the last season, but it was the last thing I wanted to think about, especially since I figured out that the show's creator, Elliot Lawrence, originally intended for the show to run for 7 seasons. So if you want to blame someone for jinxing it, blame me. Not to mention, when I get thrilled about a new season on the show, I'm never forthcoming if that season will progress into subsequent seasons or if it'll be the last season. Something also worth noting, when you look at the Motherland YouTube channel, it just says Motherland. However, the majority of the videos say Motherland Fort Salem, as you can see here. So what I got to thinking is, should the Freeform channel or Hulu bring on a successor series for Motherland Fort Salem, they would add it to the Motherland YouTube channel. Back to the plot holes. As far as anything goes for TV shows, they go off air with plot holes needing to be filled all the time, but there were big plot holes that I wanted to see covered. One plot hole is how the Camarilla resurfaced. Alban Hurst may have jeeringly thanked Nick Patan for helping him and his cohorts resurface, but what I want to know is how did they know to resurface when they did, during the Army and Spree kerfuffle. If they spent 200 years in dormancy, a lot of the news would be alien to them. Another plot hole is the recurring characters. Whether they remain alive or get killed in combat, they don't stay long enough to have their stories be told. For instance, a recurring character named Libas Wythe gets killed in episode 8 of season 1. And all we know about her is that she and Abigail had a long-standing rivalry. While they gained some understanding toward each other, the rivalry would have been a great running gag in the subsequent seasons. Another example is a character named Vera. When we first see her, it's clear that she once knew Scylla. In fact, many of you have guessed that Vera and Scylla had a romantic past, given to how the former tried to kiss the latter only to be resisted. Though she resurfaces as a villain and revealing to be part of the Spree, we don't hear much about her backstory. Another plot hole is the origins of Rael's backstory, of Rael's sexuality. When we first hear about it, she tells the male witch that she's not interested in guys. After figuring that out, I would be interested in hearing her coming out story. Another plot hole is how Willa faked her death. During season 1, Rael becomes morose about her death, only we figure out that she faked her death and joined the Spree. I've gotten curious of how she faked her death because I would like to hear her explain it. And last but not least, how the Camarilla go through life as witches. In the last few minutes of the third season finale, the mycelium, talking as Alder, explains to everyone, including the remaining Camarilla that are still alive, are now witches. My dad wondered if the Camarilla are now good witches or bad witches, and strangely enough, it's one of the many reasons why the show deserves more than 3 seasons. Arguably, in Happy Yule, Anna Kostka explains that the majority of the Camarilla are more humane compared to Alvin Hurst and Blanton Silver. One more thing I should add about the Motherland YouTube channel. Notice how, hold on, oops. Notice how the majority of the titles have, like say, freeform on them. Should Hulu decide to pick up the show, it would say Hulu as opposed to freeform. A couple more things I want to add. While the show deserves more seasons, Motherland Fort Salem was the only show I've ever watched on the Freeform channel. As far as anything goes for the Freeform channel, I watch movies on it and TV shows don't interest me enough on it. However, when my dad watched the 5th episode of the first season, I remember being in and out of my bedroom while it was on, and I took glimpses at the TV. Of course, I found Rael and Scylla getting cozy, and I even found from my dad that they were more than friends. Right then and there was when I decided to give the show a chance. And you know what? It was great. Little did I realize that Rael and Scylla would be separated, though. Something else that I didn't realize was the number of episodes per season. When I first started watching the show, I didn't realize that there would be 10 episodes in season 1, and it was the same for subsequent seasons. My dad had an assumption that there would be more episodes in the subsequent seasons, but still resorted to 10 per season. However, I remember coming across something on the internet saying Elliot Lawrence originally wanted to do 15 episodes per season. With Motherland Fort Salem being the only show I watched on the Freeform channel, I have no idea if original shows have 10 episodes per season. If that's the case, please let me know in the comments. Also, I remember in the 3rd season opener that Adil was eager to start a family with Abigail, and yet we don't get to see that. I feel we were cheated. Of course, who am I fooling? I feel we were all cheated. Something else I want to mention before I end the video. When Motherland Fort Salem came out when it did, it was during the coronavirus pandemic, having everyone in quarantine. That being said, the show gave people something to watch, and then the kerfuffle of saving it happens after the 2nd season finale way back in 2021. What I want to know is, with people talking good about the show, why can't various people and networks just give the show a chance, just like Abigail, just like I did? Through all of this, I was glad I came across it when I did, because I got to see a show that had characters, a story plot, a recurring arc, character abilities, and amongst other things that were similar to a cartoon called Steven Universe that my younger brother and I watched way back when. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, press the thumbs up button and subscribe for more videos. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave in the comments section, and I'll catch you all in my next video.